you want me to read the second one?
Yes, please.
Okay. This story is called The Gold Rush at Quesnel in the 1930s. The Great Depression of the 1930s brought hundreds of would-be miners to the Quesnel area, where it was possible to eke out an existence by hand mining on the riverboat bars of the Quesnel and Fraser rivers, up as far north as the Cottonwood Canyon and south to Alexandria. Many miners' tents and camps were seen along the way. At Quesnel, the flat beside Baker Creek, on site of what is now West Park Plaza, was known as Canvas City because of the tent town that emerged there. The miners were able to exchange their gold for either goods or cash in the local stores. So many merchants had considerable amounts of gold stored in their safes. As a result of this hard times, transient population, the stores were the object of a number of robberies. C.D. Hoy, for instance, established in 1913, was the victim of one such robbery. In January of 1938, the safe was blown and 125 ounces of gold dust and nuggets were taken. Despite the loss, Charlie Hoy continued to buy gold almost up until the time of his death in 1974. When you had the gold for sale, you found your way back to the little office in the rear of the dry goods section of C.D. Hoy's store, at the corner of Reed and Barlow. If you were lucky, you found Mr. Hoy seated at his desk, surrounded by filing cabinets and assorted bric-a-brac. On accepting the gold, Mr. Hoy would bring out from a drawer in his desk a set of gold scales, some brass trays, a small brush, and a magnet. Carefully transferring the gold from your container onto one of the brass trays, Mr. Hoy would first clean the gold of the black sand and other impurities by drawing the magnet back and forth across it. Then, carefully brushing the gold back onto the scales, he would determine the quality by balancing the equivalent weights in the opposite tray. The values were received were always to be a little less than the world gold price, as raw gold is not considered to be pure. However, one was always pleased to make the exchange. On the next possible market, gold was as far away as the Canadian Mint. Mm-hmm. And that's the end. This story is called Palm Trees and Ice Cream. One of life's little pleasures in Quesnel of the 1920s and 30s was a visit to one another of two ice cream parlors. One parlor, situated on Carson Avenue, was first known as the Tryst. It operated only in the summer months and was run by two sisters, Maud and Janet Carson. Perhaps the most popular ice cream parlor, the Palm Room, was a feature of Charlie Allison's Quesnel Drug and Book Company, located in the Hudson's Bay Company, in the building on the corner of Carson Avenue and Front Street. Mr. Allison had bought the Hudson's Bay Company in 1919 to house a drug counter, a book and stationery department, and a post office. The Palm Room was located in the southwest corner of the building. 8-foot-high potted plants and trees decorated the premises, and customers relaxed at curled wrought iron chairs and tables. The tables were covered with red and white checkered tablecloths on which fancy ice cream sodas were served, completed with real wax straws. At the dispensary, a row of large chrome-covered pumps meted out a variety of flavored syrups that made up into recipes used in the many delectable sodas and sundaes. Small chrome containers held various condiments, including nuts and cherries. Jack Allison, teenage son of Charlie Allison, had the job of manufacturing the ice cream. First, a custard containing fresh eggs and milk was made up, and to this was added a large amount of thick, fresh cream by one of the many local dairies. Rather than turn the ice cream by hand, a very laborsome job, Jack Allison had designed a foot-driven convenience that did the job. Peggy Dowie of Quesnel, who worked in the palm room, remembered one occasion when Jack slipped up on the recipe and forgot to include the custard. The result was an extremely rich concoction that stuck to the roof of one's mouth. The palm room also offered to take-out service, and for 40 cents one could take home a pint of mouth-watering homemade ice cream. The Quesnel Museum is fortunate to have on display a selection of long-handled ice cream soda spoons, depression glasses, and banana split trays, and even some chromed metal pedestal-type sundae dishes, all used in Quesnel's ice cream parlor, the Palm Room. That's it.
Branwen, that was really good. So thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much for asking me.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Jessica. You and your cold hands.
Yeah.
Warm heart. Right,
Yeah.
Michael?
That's right.
Okay, for the folks at home, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.